Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the 40th anniversary Comic Universe Lord Straxus figure. So in this video we're going to look and see how he displays with the other two previous released comic figures. We're going to look and see how much they've changed him from the original owner of his mold, which was of course Galvatron from the Kingdom lineup. We can have a detailed look at both of his modes with regards to them. I'm going to also open up this guy so we can have a look and see how much he's changed from his first appearance in the Generations toy line. And I've got a load of other figures to bring in to give you an idea of his size and scale as well. So before we get started, I need to thank Hasbro Pulse because they sent this to me to do the first official review on. So thanks very much to them. And I'd also like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now, please, because it really will help me out. Now, you've probably already seen the unboxing video and maybe even the transformation process, which is also separately uploaded. The box itself is beautiful, and just very quickly, because I've got these here in the background, let's pop all these together just to show you how the mural is starting to look. So we already know we're going to get Zaron and Flame as well. Who knows who else we'll get, but I'm sure you'll agree that that's looking fantastic already. So yeah, the box is huge. This is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, and again I'll leave a link in the description if you want to get one of these for yourself. So we've got the cover of the US comic. This cover never made its way, I don't believe, onto the UK ones. We've got, again, you can see his 39 steps, and you can definitely tell that he looks pretty much like the Galvatron Kingdom mold. So we've got some Velcro here. Unfortunately, there is still no windows in the box yet, and he was tied in there, so I'm just going to pop him out for now. And we've got a little bit of some spiel there. If you want to read that, you can pause and you can read that at your own leisure. But otherwise, again, box is beautiful. I love the concept of these. I think it just works really well. All right, let's move that out of the way. Let's just drop this down a teeny little bit, and let's have a look at some first impressions. So first impressions, I think he's brilliant. I think the color scheme just pops. It looks so good. The head sculpt is fantastic. Somebody said in one of the comments that it looks like something was missing, but it doesn't to me. That's pretty much exactly what his head looked like in the comics. We've got the lovely Decepticon logo there on the top. It will spin all the way around. It can't really look up and down, you can see, because the back of the head is touching the bottom of that. So he can nod, but he can't really look up. The shoulders will go all the way out to the side and even higher. They're completely, they're completely unrestricted, which they are. You can spin this around. Even though he's got giant shoulder pads, you can move these slightly if you wanted to as well, but it will go, as you can see, all the way around. You've got the swivel on the shoulder. You've got the bicep double bend in it, because of course that tab fits into there. The newer parts here fit snugly onto the back there, and we've still got wrist articulation, even though it tucks away there into the forearm. There's unfortunately no ab crunch, but he does spin. Does he spin? Yes, he does, but this backpack can get in the way. You can lift it slightly just to give you a bit more movement. Maybe if you just move the hip skirts as well, you've got a bit more range of motion, but you can get it all the way around, but you've got to adjust a lot of parts to be able to do that. If you move the skirts, as you can see, out to the side, you can do full splits, you can do the splits to the front, the skirt moves up basically any way you want the legs to go. There's the thigh cut at the top, there's a knee bend, there's a huge range of motion in the ankle, and again, when you take him straight out of the box, he won't have the heel spur out either. So that is how he looks coming straight out of the box. We're just going to carry on with some quick first impressions. He's also got this cannon. The art, I suppose the paint jobs is what makes him stand out to me so good. I love the cell shading look, it's brilliant. This axe is absolutely brilliant, and it fits really well in the alternate mode, which you'll see in a second. And we've got the instruction booklet as well, which is again more than detailed, and it's got all the things that I'm going to be showing you in the third part of the video. So the first part of the video was first impressions, and I'm sure you'll agree he looks fantastic. We're going to come right back, have a look at him in his alternate mode, do some comparisons with that, then come back for the final time, show you how he looks with his accessories, more comparisons, and indeed then some scale size comparisons as well. So let's have a look at him in his alternate mode. Okay, as you can see, we've got him in his alternate mode already. Quick apologies for no transformation process on this particular video. That's because I've already separately uploaded it and I want to keep the main length of this video down. Now, what I've not done is attach the accessories, which I'm sure you can see and I'm sure you can agree. And the reason for this is if you're buying this figure at a later date and you're watching this video in a few years' time, I think it's quite important that you've got his accessories, because his alternate mode, it looks really good, but without the accessories, I don't think it looks anywhere near as good. And you'll see exactly what I mean by this now. So we've got the cannon, which is going to very simply fit in there, which straight away just changes the overall appearance. And then even though this is just, again, purely aesthetics, this will fit on the top of here like so. It just, again, it just sort of finishes it off. It makes it look quite spectacular, to be honest. I think it looks really, really good. So if you are going to get this or purchase it without the accessories, just be advised that the alternate mode is perhaps not the best looking. Now, you've still got this bit on the back, which again was a bit of a gimmick from, I know he's not a Decepticon, but just to give you an idea of how you can use it, from the Kingdom Galvatron, where somebody can actually manually operate the cannon if they sort of wanted to. But again, colour scheme on here is great. It's nowhere near as dark as what it is on the packaging. The chest doubles up at the bottom as just a brilliant bit of deco. It folds out. Again, if you remember when it was the chest, it was like that. So it just covers around really nicely. It fits really good. The hip skirts double up fantastically. And because you've still got these 5mm ports, if you wanted to, you could take pretty much any other weapon from any other Decepticon, Autobot, whatever you wanted, and you can completely power this figure up. And I think that's another reason why I really like these. I love the fact that you can just do exactly that. You can mess around with them. I mean, you can, even if you want to, take Optimus Prime's blaster and you can attach this. So, and of course it'll be blast effect compatible. Whether or not in there is, I don't know. I don't think they're that big, to be honest, but I can have a look in a separate quick short video. But I love the fact that you can do that, and I love the fact, as I say, that it turns it into something a little more rather than just a standard, because it is supposed to be sort of a tank, isn't it? And a good thing about this is it does actually have wheels. The wheels on there, they do actually roll around as well. So they're hidden away neatly in there, but they do roll around. And as you can see, these on the back as well. So everything is tucked away really sort of nicely. And again, I think it just works, to be honest. If I move this out of the way, we can bring in one of the Galvatron figures. This one, which one's this? I think this one's Legacy, because it's no damage to it. So the legs tend to come a bit further out due to the tracks. Let's have a look. And yeah, you can tell that it is definitely taken from this mold. Cannon's nowhere near as big, treads are slightly different. Obviously you've got the different accessories on the top, different chest as well. That one doesn't fold into two, that is all one particular piece, so that doesn't separate. But of course you also had the extra accessories which you could attach there, and just for, I suppose, comparisons, I've not put them in there just to give you an idea of how different it is. So yeah, it is, you know, you've got two 5mm ports there, just the one on this. I think it's great. I was really surprised that they went with the Galvatron mold, but I'm sure you'd agree that it does really, really work with it, to be honest. You could as well, I imagine. Could you attach some of these? Let's see. I'm sure you probably could, just in case somebody asks. Yes, you can. There you go. That will attach, no problem whatsoever. I thought it would, because again, it's just your standard 5mm port. So there you go. If you wanted to know, you can of course do that. Let's have a quick look at some other figures just to give you an idea of some scale and size. I've got loads of random figures here right now. There's the DeLorean. There's your industry standard Earthrise Optimus Prime, which of course is way, way bigger than. Here's one of the Decepticon. This is a Voyager class figure as well, so this is a big alternate mode. This one is quite big, but of course you're paying more for the engineering and I suppose the complexity of it. What else have we got? We've got a deluxe Goldbug, got a generation 1, but this is the Diaclone cab. They go pretty well together, actually. That colour scheme works really, really well. Again, one more random quick G1 comparison could be that. And then also very, very quickly, just for some newer figures, there's Reactivate Bumblebee, which again I think looks really, really good. And there, have I done this one? Can't remember if I've done Drag Strip already, but there's Drag Strip. And then finally a Stranger Things vehicle. So as you can see, nice big Voyager, well not Voyager, leader class size figure. And again, loads of detail on it, really good with the accessories. Think it looks fantastic, but in all honesty, I'm going to be, of course, displaying him in the robot mode, which we're going to come back for the final time and have a look at him in that mode. But of course, before we get to robot mode, the all important comparison with his Generations 1 figure as well. So this, of course, I think was released in about 2010. Unfortunately, the name Straxus wasn't available at the time, so they had to call him Darkmount, and it's completely different. You've still got the same sort of appearance of a tank. M17, that's clever though, because that obviously refers to the issue, the US issue. I think it was the 17th edition of the comic, which is a great little homage. Nothing like that on this. This one, of course, balances much better as well when you push that down, which ironically enough isn't in the instructions to go all the way down, but there you go, and you can see now that it rolls about much better. But in my opinion, even though well, this one just wins hands down, I think, for the alternate mode. This looks too Earth mode, if you know what I mean. This looks like something that you perhaps would see on planet Earth, where of course this is based, I think, Straxus. And again, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, guys. I like to learn just the same as everybody else, that he was only ever seen really on Cybertron, so this is a much more suiting alternate mode than what we've got here. However, this was a great figure for its time. This one's just surpassed it in every single way. So there we go, that is definitely it now for the alternate mode. And it's a good chance again to correct myself, because you can see how much better the figure does in fact roll like that. So there we go, we are now coming back for the final time with him in his robot mode to do them all important comparisons and indeed see how he looks with his accessories. So if you remember in the other section, I said that he really does need his accessories to complete the cannon mode. In this particular mode, he doesn't necessarily need them, but oh my days, does he look so much better with them. I mean, you can get away with it. Obviously, you can see here he's got nothing in his hands. He's just absolutely bog standard, and he still looks great. But as soon as you pop these in his hands, it just completely changes, I suppose, how good he looks. And it is quite uncanny just how two simple accessories can change the overall look of this figure incredibly. That's probably the only negative thing that I think people are going to pick up on, the fact that we've still got the hollow forearms. But what I say with every figure and every single company that makes them, as long as I can't really see them from the front, it doesn't really bother me. But I'm sure you'll agree, just by, as I say, adding the axe, slightly turning it out, putting the cannon there, it just, I mean, that figure's got some shelf presence, and it's a completely different league compared to this one. This was good for the time. This one's obviously got the darker blue scheme, but I also think that this one's just, well, look at the size difference for a start, but also it actually looks a lot more like Straxus did, especially in the Marvel comic, which is of course exactly what they're going for. So, you know, size wise, axe is good, and as I said again in the other section, definitely prefer this one for the new alternate mode. But you know, again, it's nice to see how things have improved over the last 10 plus years. So again, if you wanted to, you could store this. Could you store it on the back? Yeah, I'm sure you can. Let's have a look. You can't store it the same way you had it in the robot mode, sorry, in the alternate mode, because that had to fit there. However, no, I don't think you can actually. Now I've said that, it must be the cannon that you can store. The cannon you can store, yep, that'll go in there, no problem. And then this will fit. I think that's pretty much it. There's no side notches on this, no 5mm posts, only in the fists, to be honest. And again, as I say, because it makes it look so good, I'm going to definitely be displaying them on there. I'm just going to take these off for now though, so I can bring in some other figures, just to again give you an idea of display and size ideas. So first and foremost, it makes perfect sense to bring into, at the time of making this video, the other two. Again, as I say, I haven't got Flame, and unfortunately I haven't got Zaron yet, because they're not out, but you can see, funnily enough, how they step down in size, and they do look really good. There's just something about this color scheme on these, they're just really vibrant, and they make just, you know, a standard mold just look sensational. We've had this mold so many times, but you know, still looks really good. So that's the comic book figures that we've got so far. I'll just bring in a few random Optimus Primes, just because again, I know people always like to see comparisons with that. So we've got a G1, but that's the missing link. We've got the Earthrise, which was the industry standard until this guy took over, and there you go, they scale really well together. Actually, I think they look very good. I'll bring in a few figures that are current at the time of making this video. So these are what's known as the Star Raiders capsule. So again, these are all redecos retools, reuses. You can see what other figures have we got. I've got quite a few here actually. I try to do as many random ones as well as possible, just to give people ideas of the scale and the size of the figure. But it is a leader class figure, but not what I would sort of class as like a leader class height, if you know what I mean. I think because, again, I've mentioned this, it's all to do with the engineering. Last couple of figures to give you an idea. It's just really robust. It feels really robust in hand, real sturdy. And of course I need to bring in this for some final few comparisons, so again we can see just how much they've changed from these particular molds. Again, lack of, well, this has got way more accessories because it had the parts which you could combine to make the ship, but again I think the accessories, obviously, as I've said, just really work with this. So very quickly then, if we pop them there, if we do a couple of side by sides, you can see the differences which are pointed out on the treads with these. Oh, on the back, bring that down as well. The reason why I've got that up is for the display mode, so there's not sticking too much out the back. But again, even that's different molding there. Quite a few different moldy parts, to be honest, but I think that's pretty much all I'm going to say about it. In my opinion, it's fantastic. It's way better than I thought it would be. I do love the fact that we've actually got a really decent version of this figure for once, because it's so much better than the 2010 generations version. It looks great, displays well, lovely accessories, and of course the box, even if you want to keep it mint in box, it's going to look fantastic that way as well. There you go, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think he's stunning. Take care.